Saturday, January the 6th, 2018, to you. On Wednesday, I wrote about Mr. Michael Wolff's new book, Fire and Fury, inside the Trump White House. I thought back then, and I still think so today, that the book is not too important. However, that book has brought about a debate about President Trump's mental health. Some of the Democrats have gone as far as to invoke the 25th Amendment, which permits presidential powers to be transferred to the Vice President when he or she and a majority of the cabinet conclude that the President is incapable of performing his or her duties. That is serious. The book is not important, but that debate certainly is. Personally, I believe it is a waste of ink to analyze Mr. Trump's latest tweets in which he asserted he was a very stable genius. I'm more concerned about the briefing jail psychiatrist Dr. Bandy X. Lee sent to a dozen members of both houses of Congress. Lawmakers were saying they have been very concerned about this. The president's dangerousness, the dangers that his mental instability poses onto the nation. Dr. Lee told CNN. The problem here is that Dr. Lee did not personally examine the president, so the briefings she submitted in early December is not medically valid. Some psychiatrists have said it is irresponsible to throw around medical terms without a personal examination. And you know what? I agree with them. In this affair, I'm neither a Republican nor a Democrat. I'm supporting science. The problem is that there is not a constitutional room for science to decide in this matter. 25th Amendment does not provide a protocol through which doctors may certify whether the president is mentally unfit to carry out his constitutional responsibilities. Even worse, there is no channel by which a doctor could provide his or her diagnosis on the president's mental health. You may like Mr. Trump or not, but he is the one who was constitutionally elected President of the United States. So the aforementioned amendment must be applied as thoroughly as possible. Otherwise, it would look too much like a palace intrigue or a coup at worst. Finally, I have observed that other world leaders have remained in silence about recent developments in American politics. Mrs. Merkel, Mr. Xi, Mr. Putin, Mrs. May, all of them has not said the slightest thing about the latest events in Washington. What are they thinking? That the president is as odd as his nation. Certainly, I am not at odds with that. Sorry, the world is still on.